Hey, how we doing today, guys? So today I wanted to do a review on this headset. This is the Onikuma K10 Pro. Now, Onikuma sent me out this headset, and one thing I had to keep in mind is the $24 price of this headset. Now, compared to other headsets I've reviewed, they cost, I would say, like 10 times more, some of them, and I had to keep that in mind throughout this review. And I want to let you guys know what I think of them so far, and let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. So I want to go ahead and get started with the sound on these headphones. So the sound on these headphones, when I put them on, I immediately started comparing them to the headphones that I currently use. And I had to listen to these for a more extended period of time as the only headset that I use so that I could get more used to them and see what they're all about, not comparing them directly to headphones that cost 10 times as much. Now, the sound on these, I would say, is pretty decent, but there are a few things I don't like and there are a few things I do like. First, the low end is way too overpowering to me personally. It's not to the point where it's unusable, but I would like some type of equalizer that would be able to change these. Now, the only reason I did look into an equalizer is because the way that they market these as console and PC headphones, and I know on console you won't be able to access an equalizer like that. So I went ahead and went with the out-of-box sound just to see how it would sound compared to other headphones I've used. Now, I will say compared to other headphones in this price range, these are not distorted or tinny or weird. They just seem to favor the low end just a little bit too much. These actually sound pretty good. Just that low end is a little bit overpowering at times. I will say one of my favorite things about this headset is the positional audio. So the positional audio on these headphones is actually really good. It's actually better than some of the more expensive options I've tried. Now, I really like positional audio, and if you're a person like me who plays a lot of competitive first-person shooter games, Call of Duty, Apex, Overwatch, whatever you play, that positional audio is a must-have for somebody who's serious about the game. And these headphones do a fairly decent job of that. But for the overall sound, I would have to give them a 5 out of 10 if I'm comparing them in a wide range. But if I'm comparing them in this price range, I would give them an 8 out of 10 just because I've had $50 headsets that don't sound as good as this. And I've also had $50 headsets that sound way better. So the next thing I want to talk about is comfort. So one weird thing I want to point out about this, the top of the headband has memory foam while the ear cups do not. They just have like a regular foamy material on the ear cups. Doesn't really make a huge difference. I just realized it when I was playing around with them. That was a little weird. I don't know why they went one way on the ear cups and one way on the headrest. They do not have any perforated mesh material on the ear cups or anything like that. It's like this faux like leather-ish type deal. But despite that, they are both really soft, and I found no issues with the foam on the top or on the ear cups. It's comfortable either way. And the entire thing is made of plastic minus the extenders that are in the headset. Those are some type of metal material. And these don't have like a super insane clamping force down on the head. It's actually really decent. It doesn't feel like loose or anything, but it definitely doesn't clamp my head super hard. Now, another thing is the ear cups I want to mention again. They have a circular design. Personally, in the past, I've not been a fan of headphones that have a circular design because they usually don't fit my entire ear inside the ear cup, which is what I prefer. These headphones actually cover my entire ear. My ear isn't resting on the side of the ear cup, which can get irritating if it pushes your ear up against your glasses or your head. It can just get a little bit uncomfortable, but these are really comfortable. So another thing that I really like about these headphones that I haven't seen on a lot of headphones, even more expensive ones. So on the inside of the ear cups, where usually there's like this thin lining and the drivers and the plastic right underneath that, these have like a thicker mesh soft material that's in between those, and that is so awesome. Even on the headphones that I use currently, like full time, that I've been using for the last few months, don't have that. There's just like a thin little covering just like the other ones. They don't really cause an issue, but I feel like I've had tons of headphones in the past that just I could feel that plastic up against my ear and it hurt and it just felt uncomfortable after a certain amount of hours. These do not have that issue. That extra mesh padding that's right underneath the ear cup protects your ear from that plastic, and it feels really, really good. I'm going to start looking for this in other headphones, and I'm going to critique more expensive headphones more if they don't have this. But overall, I would definitely have to say that these are like some of the most comfortable headphones that I've worn in this price range. Of course, there could be better materials. Of course, they could be more comfortable. But for $24, I'm not doing any sort of complaining. So next, I want to move into the mic test. I pretty much, on all of my mic reviews, I pretty much just do a recording and let you hear what it sounds like and let you be the judge yourself if you like that sound. One thing, though, before I get into that, I did want to say this mic flips up, but flipping it up does not mute it. I don't understand why it flips if it's not going to mute. I don't get that, but it flips. I mean, if you want it out of the way, I mean, it's not like I really see it either way, but it flips and it does not mute. That irritates me because I'm so used to headphones that flip and mute. So it's easy to just get that out of the way. You actually have to use the little switch that comes on the cable. I'll get into that a little bit later, but I just wanted to mention that. Let's go ahead and get into this mic test. Alrighty guys, so this is a mic test for the Onikuma K10 Pro, and this is about the sound you would get probably if you were in a party playing online. This is what I assume people would hear. Let me know in the comment section down below if it sounds good, if it sounds like trash. I will know shortly after I finish recording this. So the next thing I wanted to touch on was the build quality and design. So as you can expect for $24, plastic, minus those metal extenders in the sides. But I have to say I was very surprised at the build quality of this headset. Now, while it's being made of cheaper plastic, unlike a lot of other cheaper headsets, these don't have like an insane amount of creaking. They stretch pretty far. Doesn't seem like they're gonna break at all. They don't have an insane amount of creaking, which is like my main issue with cheaply built headsets that are made of cheapy plastic. They creak, and when you're moving around, they make a lot of noise. These don't really make too much noise, so they're built pretty solid. Saying that though, I did have a few build quality things that I didn't really like too much. Number one, these silver accents. These silver accents look super cheap. They look like something that came out of the 99-cent store. I don't like the way these silver accents look. I would have much preferred if they just kept it this same black all the way through, but it does give it a little bit of flair. I will say it's super reflective, super fingerprint prone, but I would have just preferred if it was all the way black all the way through. With this RGB lighting on the side, that would have looked really good. Speaking about this RGB lighting, the RGB lighting on this looks really good. Now, we've all seen cheap RGB lights, little cheap that don't get that bright and they look really faded. These are not that. They actually look really good. They look like something that costs way more money than these cost. They look really close to the picture, actually. They look really bright and vibrant, and they have this like rainbow effect that goes all the way through them. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was the wire. I am not a fan of wired headphones. I'm not a fan of wired anything. I'm like pro wireless. I mean, I don't have half of it charged up half the time, but I'm pro wireless simply because I don't like wires, and this just emphasizes that fact. Now, so on the end, on the middle, I would say halfway through this wire, or not even halfway through, this is a pretty long wire. About a third of the way down from the headset itself, you have this humongous volume and mic controller. It is absolutely too huge. Like it's too big, and the pictures make it look sort of smaller, but it's really huge. And I wouldn't say it's like super heavy or anything. It's made of that same thin plastic, so it's pretty light. But if it's just hanging down, like if you're a taller person, it's just hanging and it can't like sit on your lap or sit on the side of the chair or on the desk or something, you'll notice that weight pulling down on your left ear. It's a little weird. But most of the time it sits in my lap, so I don't have an issue. But I noticed one time when I tried to put it outside the armrest that it was a lot more uncomfortable. Another thing about this volume adjuster that kind of threw me off as far as build quality. Now the headset, I would say it's built very well, minus those silver accents. I don't like, that's just the design thing. I don't really like the way it looks. But this is, it seems like they stopped at the headset and they were like, okay, we're just gonna throw this on there as an added feature. I would have rather them throw these buttons on the headset and make it look better. This just looks really weird. It's super bulky, and the on-off switch is, it doesn't inspire confidence at all. It's just, it's like it doesn't want to go all the way up, and even when you get it all the way up, it still leaves space. It's like weird space at the top, and the same thing when you flick it to the bottom, and it's just uncomfortable with the whole thing, to be honest. But that's really the least of my worries. If my mic's off, it's going to be off for the whole game, and if it's on, it'll be on. So it's not really a big issue. I just feel like they could have designed this just a little bit better, put a little bit more time into it. And also, when I got it, the off, it has writing on here where it says flip the mic on or off, and the off was like half of the letters are scratched out, or like halfway through the letter, like it's like just faded. That may have just been like a rusting in manufacturing, but I did want to point it out for this headset. But like I said, overall, I mean, I can't really stress on that because of the price, but mainly because this headset is actually built very well. I kind of just let that little dangly thing just dangle. I don't really mess with it too much. So overall, is this headset worth it? $24. I don't think I've seen a headset that costs this much, that checked this many boxes. Decent sound quality, though the bass can be overwhelming. Excellent build quality, especially for the price. And beautiful RGB lights. Like it or hate it, it's there. You know, I got a bunch of them in the back myself. If you don't like it, tape it up. But it does look really good. The design looks really good. I would have to say these are definitely worth picking up, especially if you're looking for a headset in this price range. And so that's going to wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. If you have any questions, make sure you comment down below. And if you want to see any more videos like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy.